of animal is. For instance, I think that you have a right to get married, unlike your parents.
What do you know about my parents?
I know more than Bob does. Like the fact that they're still alive. You are very interesting, Carl.
I am.
You are. How do you breathe? Living in such a cage.
I don't know what you are talking about.
Are you an ex-gay in recovery? Conversion therapy for unwanted same-gender attraction? God, that must have sucked.
It was fine.
No, that's not fine. You got out. You said, thanks, Mom and Dad, for saving me.
It made them happy. It didn't hurt anyone.
Both you and I know your boyfriend wouldn't stand for that bullshit. It was just easier to tell him that they were dead. Hiding mail, watching the phone, lies about business trips when you're just going to go see your parents. Almost as much work as carrying on an affair, which you also happened to pull off. Unfortunate, it was with an intern.
Okay. What do you want?
I want the money that you were paid for that Happy Chicken's bullshit. $82,652. You can use that computer to transfer the money through a network we've set up.
I'm a vegetarian, you know.
I do know that. Why is that?
I like animals. I don't want to eat them.
Eat eggs?
Free range, organic.
You know they kill all the male chicks? Even with free range hens. They're too skinny to eat because they're different than genetically modified birds we call broilers. The males are useless. So we feed them through a chipper, still chirping for their moms.
I didn't know that.
Most people would be upset by that. Just like most people would be upset if they were forced to see the way that chickens are treated in general. That's why Happy Chickens is a cartoon, not footage like what we're watching, which is reality and not very happy.
So what are you going to do with the money if I give it to you?
We break into places like that and liberate animals. The money buys equipment, buys food for the animals we rescue. They're all sick. Most of them need medical attention the rest of their lives.
That couch cost $3 grand. I was considering swallowing a bottle of Ativan and lying down on it tonight.
Okay.
Right now, I really need you to tell me that you believe that things can change.
Yeah, I believe that things can change.
Okay. Then I'll give you the money. But only if you take me.
What the hell did you say to him?
It's more like what he said to me. Listen, I think he's sincere, but he may just be drunk and I may just be hopeful.
Ah, romance.
I'm serious. He goes Judas. It's your ass down the rabbit hole.
My bad call on Jeff got you where you are, so the worst case is we're even. But I trust you all the way to the end. This guy right here?
This guy.
Nice cows.
You got your earthquake kit there, Pilgrim?
Terrorist attack kit, actually.
So, Carl, you can call me Sonia.
Is that a code name?
Yeah, it was a toss-up between that and fuck you, what the hell are you doing here?
I like Sonia better.
Yeah, me too.
For now.
We're also encouraging you to begin frequent audits of cattle slaughterhouses as practiced by McDonald's. That should ensure that the captive bolt gun usage is rendering the animal unconscious before slaughter.
We're keeping busy, yeah, we're bleeding stone.
We'd like to end our protests. And as I'm sure you'd like to see them end as well, I'm hoping we can find some common ground. Our first request is that you consider matching some of the commitments made by the other fast food chains.
And which ones are those?
Requiring 72 square inches per hen in battery cages. Stopping forced molting.
Forced molting?
Withholding food and water to speed the laying process.
Where are the numbers on the economic impact?
Page 22. We're also looking at a gradual shift to cage-free eggs. Our research shows a shortfall in supply there. Change takes time, so we're looking at 5% by the end of the year. That should send a strong message to your customers about your commitment to humane practices.
Hello? Sorry I'm late. Sanders? Phil? Hi, I'm Jack Sanders.
Jane Harold.
Please, continue.
Phasing out gestation crates for breeding pigs. Beginning with a commitment to purchase 20% of pork from gestation crate-free producers by the end of this year.
I was raised in the farm. Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Missouri. Phil, did you know that?
Yes, sir. I did.
Our last commitment is more symbolic. A stated preference for poultry producers who use controlled atmosphere killing. The current practice of live shackling and electric stunning reduces meat quality and yield through routine broken bones, bruising, and hemorrhaging. Controlled atmosphere killing allows the birds to remain in their transport container where they're exposed to non-poisonous gases that cause anoxia. And it's also much easier on the slaughterhouse workers.
There are significant costs involved in switching over.
Actually, because of decreased contamination, carcass downgrades, labor costs, and other factors we've discussed, most studies indicate an increase in revenue over a period of a year. There are details on page 34 for your reference. And like I said, this is a purely non-binding preference statement.
That's the last issue, right?
We're also encouraging you to begin frequent audits of cattle slaughterhouses as practiced by McDonald's. This would ensure that the captive bolt gun usage is consistently rendering the animal unconscious before slaughter.
Cows were my favorite animal when I was a boy. Marvelous creatures.
Yes, they are.
Miss Harold, you seem to be a very reasonable individual. I appreciate the presentation, but unfortunately, I have a plane to catch. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you.
Mr. Sanders, you have an opportunity here to take additional steps that would put you in the forefront of the industry and would ensure that we won't be meeting again in a year or two so that you can catch up.
Young lady, this company does not take its orders from a protest group who wants to turn our customers into vegetarians.
We are here to work with you.
But you'd much rather put us out of business, wouldn't you?
I would much rather that if people are going to eat animals, that those animals experience as little suffering as possible. We can agree on that, can't we?
That, Miss Harold, we can agree on. Have a good day.
Safe trip, Mr. Sanders.
I want people who have had these kind of cases before, people who know the system. Thanks, Evan.
And Frank, I want the best. Fly him in here as soon as possible. I don't care what it costs. Just get it done.
Charlie! Come on! Earthquake! Come on, sunshine. Get up. The fuck is that?
It was in my my kit. You know, it's like an emergency thermal blanket thing. From
Really?
the,
Wow.
What? It's warm.
It's warm. Wow. This is Carl's blanket. This is Carl's blanket. So cozy.
What is alleged here by the government is that your son engaged in arson, vandalism, and theft, dealing with animal enterprises. That comes squarely within the four corners of the Animal Enterprise Terrorism Act.
The Animal
Enterprise Terrorism
Act. Okay.
The act targets animal activists. Ultimately, it wants to silence them and to actually put them away for a long time.
They've taken property crimes and have labeled them as terrorism as it relates to an animal enterprise.
Pharmaceutical industry, the meat industry, they're big business. They banded together and asked for this legislation, lobbied for this legislation, and they were very successful. Legislators are not coming up with terrorism laws for right-wing extremists. Anti-government, anti-abortion, and white supremacists supremacist groups who have either killed or injured people are not on the terrorism list.
These industries can get protection by convincing the government that, this is really domestic terrorism.
The penalties have increased exponentially.
Each different company could be a separate act of animal terrorism. If you have 4 or 5 different companies, your son could face life imprisonment.
Richard doesn't know where his son is. Should his son contact him, let's say hypothetically?
Your phone conversations and everything you do is probably being monitored right now.
It's important to really look towards turning himself in. He can only run so long. Eventually, they're going to find him.
Jesus, Frank, I should have never stopped looking for him.
Do you have any idea where to find him?
He was living with a girl in Cedarville a couple of years ago.
Well, for what it's worth, I doubt they expect you to go looking for him. I could drop you off on the other side of the lake. They wouldn't know about it till we got back.
What makes you think I can find him when they can't?
I don't. But I do know what you're going to go through if something happens to him and you didn't even try. I mean, you wouldn't be able to access any of your bank accounts, call anybody you know, not your office, not me, nobody. You'd have to disappear there, Richard.
If I'm not on this boat when you pull in...
Why don't you let me worry about that, all right? I don't know if you remember, but we lobbied for that Animal Enterprise Terrorism Act. If Charlie's arrested as a terrorist, they can pretty much do anything they want to him. Richard, you deserve to see your son alive and free again before you die.
Yeah, not too short, Malik.
I got you, no worries, man. So you really want to go underground? You should get rid of this emo cut. And check this out here. Click these on.
Oh, Malik.
You're looking like my main man, Thailand, over there. You see him right there? That's how you gonna look, just like my man T. He is killing the game right now.
You need some game, too, so.
I didn't even really come in here for a haircut.
So if you didn't come for a haircut, then what'd you come for?
We're trying to go national with this thing.
National.
You think you can handle this region?
I'm pretty well connected. I got a couple of people.
You trust them?
I trust those people about just as much as you trust him. Who's he?
Who is he?
Who is that guy?
I'm Carl. I need to rent some surfing stuff. Wetsuit for sure. Probably will need a towel too. Can I get that sticker too? The shark one there. There's sharks out there? It's a baby shark. He's mean though, look at that.
Have fun.
How's it going, Professor Strathern?
Charlie Cranehill. As I live and breathe, I never thought I'd see you out here today.
I've been recovering.
3 years in recovery, huh? We weren't that drunk, were we?
You know, I don't remember.
You back for more education, Charlie? I got a killer class this year. The American Empire and the Fall of D.C.
Always the optimist.
All that terrorist noise is nothing but a profitable distraction. But the real war, Charlie, will be between the people and the multinational corporations. You mark my words.
Well, until then, you interested in a little frontline action?
People make noise. Our bodies didn't come with a voice for nothing. We got a choice. We're running from the sound inside.
Professor on board?
He's on board.
Go.
So what's the plan? What are we up to?
I've been waiting to